If your attention span feels completely broken, like you can't sit through a movie anymore, can't read more than a paragraph without your mind wandering, can't work on a single task without reaching for your phone, you're not alone. And you're not lazy. Most advice on how to fix your attention span focuses on the same tired solutions: productivity hacks, dopamine detoxes, just trying harder. Maybe you've already tried some of these. Maybe they worked for a day or two, then stopped working entirely. That's because the real way to fix your attention span has nothing to do with motivation or self-discipline. It has everything to do with something most people are actively avoiding: discomfort. What I'm about to explain isn't what you'll find in the typical Focus Better video. This is about why your attention span feels broken in the first place, why quick fixes never last, and what actually works, even though it feels uncomfortable at first. Let's start with what's really happening. Your attention span isn't broken, it's trained. Think about it this way. Every time you feel bored and immediately reach for your phone, you're teaching your brain that boredom is something to escape. Every time you start a task and switch to something more stimulating within minutes, you're reinforcing the pattern that difficult things should be avoided. This isn't a moral failing. It's conditioning. Your brain is doing exactly what it's been trained to do over hundreds, maybe thousands, of tiny decisions you didn't even notice making. Here's what happened. Modern life engineered an environment where high-stimulation content is always available. Social media feeds that scroll forever, videos that autoplay, notifications that promise something new every few minutes. Your brain adapted to this. It learned to expect constant novelty. And when novelty isn't available, it creates a quiet sense of panic, a restlessness that feels like you're missing something. That restlessness isn't your attention span breaking. It's your brain looking for the stimulation it's been conditioned to expect. And here's the part most people miss. This conditioning didn't happen overnight. It happened slowly, across months and years of micro-habits you barely registered. Which means the solution won't happen overnight either. So why don't productivity tips work? Why doesn't willpower fix this? Why do dopamine detoxes fail after a few days? Because they're treating symptoms, not the underlying pattern. Let's break down the 3 most common approaches and why they miss the point. First, productivity hacks, time blocking, Pomodoro timers, website blockers. These can help in the short term, but they don't address the core issue: your brain's relationship with discomfort. You can block distracting websites all day, but if you haven't retrained your tolerance for boredom, you'll just find new distractions. Second, motivation and willpower. Just focus harder, just push through. This assumes your attention span is a choice you're failing to make. But you're not lacking discipline. You're experiencing the predictable result of overstimulation. Willpower runs out, conditioning doesn't. And here's why willpower-based approaches always fail. Your environment is more powerful than your willpower. Think about it like this. If you're trying to eat healthier, but you keep a jar of cookies on your kitchen counter, you have to use willpower every single time you walk past it. But if you don't keep cookies in the house at all, there's nothing to resist. That's the principle of environment design. And it's the foundation of how to actually fix your attention span. Third, short dopamine detoxes. These are popular right now. Delete social media for 24 hours. Turn off your phone for a weekend. Do a digital sabbatical. And for a day or two, it might feel like a reset. You might even feel calmer. But then you go back to the same environment, with the same habits, and within 72 hours, you're right back where you started. Because a detox doesn't retrain your brain. It just pauses the noise temporarily. So what actually works? The answer is simple, but not easy. You have to rebuild your tolerance for discomfort. And you have to do it systematically, over time, in a specific sequence. Your attention span isn't something you fix with a hack or a trick. It's something you retrain, the same way you'd rebuild a muscle after an injury. And just like physical therapy, there's a progression. You don't start by lifting heavy weights. You start by stabilizing, then rebuilding, then deepening, then integrating the new capacity into your life. Here's what that actually looks like. Week 1 is about stabilization. Before you can build focus, you have to stop the bleeding. Think of it like plugging the drain before filling the bathtub. There's no point adding water if it's all flowing out. So, week 1, you establish 2 simple routines. A 10-minute morning routine, completely screen-free. You sit on the edge of your bed. Take 3 deep breaths. Hydrate. Move your body for a few minutes. Then you open a physical notebook and write down one thing you want to accomplish that day. One word for how you want to feel, and one thing you're grateful for. That's it. No phone, no computer, no screens. Just 10 minutes to set the tone before the noise begins. And at night, 30 minutes before bed, you do an evening wind down. All screens go away. Lights dim. You read a physical book, journal, or stretch. Nothing stimulating. Nothing that requires mental effort. You're teaching your brain that mornings and evenings can be calm. That's week 1. Stabilize. Week 2 is about rebuilding. This is where you start training the attention muscle. You introduce focus blocks. 15 minutes at first. One specific task. No phone, no distractions. A timer running. You work on only that task until the timer goes off. At first, it will feel uncomfortable. You'll want to check something. You'll feel restless. That's normal. You notice the urge. You don't act on it. By the end of week 2, those 15-minute blocks stretch to 25 minutes. Your brain is starting to remember what sustained attention feels like. Week 3 is about deepening. Now you're extending your focus capacity, 30 to 45-minute sessions. And you're introducing something called a distraction-free window. 90 to 120 minutes of completely protected time. Phone in another room. Email closed. No interruptions. Inside that window, you do 2 or 3 focus blocks, with short breaks between. This is where deep work becomes possible again. Not because you forced it, but because you built the capacity gradually. Week 4 is about integration. You're not just changing habits anymore. You're locking in a new baseline. You establish habit stacks, small routines that trigger automatically. After you pour your morning coffee, you sit down with your notebook. After you brush your teeth at night, you put your phone on the charger in another room. These aren't acts of willpower. They're environmental cues that make the right choice automatic. By the end of week 4, focus doesn't feel like effort anymore. It feels like your default state. So let's make this concrete. If you want to fix your attention span, here's what the first few days actually look like. Day 1, you start with that 10-minute morning routine. No phone until you've set your intention for the day. You'll probably reach for it out of habit. That's fine. Just notice it. Put it down. Return to the practice. You also establish your evening wind down. 30 minutes before bed, screens go away. You read. You journal. You stretch. The first night will feel strange. Your brain will search for stimulation. Let it search. Don't give in. Day 2, you add one 15-minute focus block. Pick a single task. Set a timer. Work until it goes off. When the urge to check your phone comes up, write it on an index card and keep working. By day 7, you've done this routine 7 times. It's starting to feel less forced. Your mornings feel calmer. Your evenings feel more restful. And those 15-minute focus blocks? They're stretching to 20 minutes without you even trying. Week 2, you increase to 25-minute focus blocks, 2 or 3 per day. You start using real breaks, standing up, stretching, getting water, not checking your phone. By day 14, something shifts. Focus doesn't feel like a battle anymore. It feels manageable. Week 3, you're doing 30 to 45-minute sessions. You've introduced your distraction-free window. 90 minutes of protected time where deep work is the only option. The discomfort you felt in week 1 is fading. Your brain has adjusted. By day 30, you've rebuilt the capacity you thought was gone. Not through motivation, not through willpower, through progressive retraining. This is the framework. This is what works. But I know from experience that doing this alone, without daily guidance, without worksheets to track your progress, without knowing exactly what to do each day, is hard. You forget what comes next. You lose momentum. You don't know if you're doing it right. That's why I created the 30-Day Focus Reset. It's a complete guided protocol that walks you through all 4 weeks, step by step. Week 1, stabilize. Week 2, rebuild. Week 3, deepen. Week 4, integrate. It includes daily worksheets, so you know exactly what to do each morning. Focus block templates that show you how to structure your sessions. An emergency grounding toolkit for when you feel overwhelmed, including a 5-minute reset exercise you can use anytime. And an analog anchor kit guide that helps you set up physical tools, a notebook, index cards, a timer, so you're not relying on your phone for everything. Every day has a specific practice. Every week has a clear goal. You're never guessing what comes next. If you want the full structured version, the exact daily plan I just described, the link is in the description. No pressure, just an invitation. Your attention span isn't broken. It's just been trained to expect constant stimulation. And the same neuroplasticity that got you here can get you out. It won't happen overnight. It will feel uncomfortable before it feels better. But if you're willing to sit with that discomfort, to let boredom exist without rushing to escape it, your brain will adapt. It always does. Thanks for watching.